Hey there, Russell and Index traders. David here of TradingFibs.com to bring you the recap for July 15th, 2014. As always, please seek financial advisement when trading with your money, as these videos are for educational purposes only to support your knowledge in the market. See what's going through my head on any given day. Always make sure you have a solid trading plan and never move your stop when placing a trade. Well, let's get right into their indices here, starting with the Nasdaq, YM, and the ES. As we had on the stand today, Janet Yellen for day 2 of testimony, with whether her testimony really moved the market or not. The trading plan called for downside today at TradingFibs.com, and that's what we got. Market internals, though, overall, and the tick count was actually up on the green triangles, as we could see. The major momentum was still to the upside on ticks, but volume obviously didn't hold its strength as when the market opened, and we had an AD line that, as we can see on the majority of our indices, brought and came down to around zero, never came down to pivot line, and pretty much chopped inside the 750 zero zone. So what does that turn out to say? That turns out to say, if trading one of these three indices, pretty much was going to get sideways action. The Nasdaq was the best one of the three. What are we looking for? We're looking for a 2-bar confirmation over the 8-period moving average. Here we have our average, our 25-minute open ranges depicted by the green lines at the top and the 25-minute open range on the low. Waiting for the momentum moves could be a possible entry, but using the 2-bar confirmation, as we can see, very tough to take an early morning trade. I am on the West Coast, so we are here at 6:30 open time, and our best move of the day came right here. Just looking for one move of the day. There were others. Showing the example here at 8:58 West Coast time, bar number 1, bar number 2 is the confirmation at 9:06. We want a confirmation there on the 534 EMA, 534 exponential moving average. When do we get that? We had a 2-bar confirmation moving up before the 25-minute open range at 9:06. We did not have a crossover until 9:09, so it would have taken another bar using a trailing stop or target's upside. Next best entry would have been downside at the end of the market day. As we can see, market has already opened for after hours trading, but you would have had a 2-bar crossover here towards the end of the close in the last 10 minutes with a 534 EMA crossover already at the 25-minute open range, able to get in a trade in the last 7 minutes that trailed down through the remainder of the session. So Nasdaq, all in all, had several good opportunities, but a lot of piano keys straight across here from the open, actually. Here at 6:30, having a 1-2-bar count. 1-2-bar count here at the opening bell, and then again we need to check for the 5 to make sure it comes under the 34, and therefore, as we see, the 5 never came under the 34, so it would have never taken the trade. Looking at the YM, again we had a similar setup. We had just a lot of chop. I would not have touched this at least until we had a 2-bar confirmation here at about the same time on the YM as we did on the Nasdaq. Here we're looking for the 534 EMA crossover in combination with the 2-bar. So here we are at 842, 851. Looking for the 534. We have a crossover not until 9:06. So that would have happened here already, a 2-bar confirmation. That's all right. Place the stop down here at 17,021 and ride it up, depending on if you're trading the ETF or others. You would have had the same similar pattern and would not have gotten much out of that. So YM was not the equity or market of choice today, future of choice in today's trading. Again, we had the same story here on the ES. As you can see, 1-bar, 2-bar confirmation. And then waiting for the 534 EMA crossover. We did not have that until at least 9:09, same time, which would have been already up here, and did not give much rise until just chopping over. So not that great overall on the three indices, Nasdaq, YM, and the ES. The Russell was the index of choice today. But before we get to that, let's take a look. Tonight we're going to take a look at the, not at the YM, we are looking at the QM. Apologize on that. Light sweet crude. Oh, we got QM over there. Hang on just a second. All right, much better. So here we have the YG, the mini size for the gold futures, and the last couple recaps we've been looking at GC and the crude, but let's take tonight a look at the lighter version of the two, the YG. Here we have a nice 2-bar confirmation at the early morning session towards the opening of the market here at 5:25 a.m. West Coast time. 531 2-bar confirmation with a crossover on the 534 that just continued to lead upside. Again, if you were looking for a re-entry, I would have waited till at least a push above the 25-minute open range high. So here we are at 630, a push above 631, and you already had a 534 EMA crossover, so staying in the trade, but your stop would have been closer, and then all the way down here I would have placed the stop here at 12.99. The next best trade of the day came here towards later of the session as we had a 2-bar. We're again looking for the 2-bar confirmation below the 8-period moving average, which didn't happen here until 9:26, 9:46, and as you can see here, didn't happen until a couple bars later, and then back into the range. But that's all right. So taking a look at a zoom in on this, here we go, 1-bar, 2-bar confirmation. And then looking at the 534, so that crossover here was at the 10.11, and there you are. There's your 10.11 bar. So the earlier entry was not confirmed until at least 10 minutes later, 15 minutes later, excuse me, almost 30 minutes later on the gold futures. So not a great trade, but able to get some points out of that, and then later on towards the later of the session. As far as the lighter version on the crude, we could see here that had an overnight run up and a little bit of a grind up, but you had 5 above 34 the entire time. So towards the market open, we're looking for the best entry was right here at 7:30, 2-bar confirmation upside. We had a 534 lining up with that, and once we get the entry, what keeps us in the trade? It's this chart right here. 5 remained above 34 the entire time. You could have taken contracts off, or you could have just simply moved your stop up. Would have never been taken out as price continued to make higher highs. So again, 2-bar confirmation. Look for the 534 EMA crossover and take the entry and manage your trade. Let's jump right over to the Russell. The Russell again. Today, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we've hit the average move down and settling at and around the average move down. As we can see here on the exponential moving average after hours, we did exactly that, settling around 1146. Take a look again at the big chart, at the big picture. Price just continued downside. As we take a look at the AD line just plummeting for the most of the session, and had a little bit of a glitz up and plummet back down to almost the pivot, chopping back up to the session. So the AD line was a determining direction here as we saw price action come down, up, and then all the way down to the previous low. Here we're hitting our average move down. So a great day overall. Had about 7 setups on the Russell today. Let's take a look at one of the early morning ones and one of the better ones of the day. Again, here we are, market open 6:30. We had a 2-bar crossover. The Russell index already in a downslide, and a 534 EMA crossover within minutes, which led down all the way to the bottom of the 25 open range. So that was a nice trade in the morning session. We had a 513 under 1321 and 80. One of the better mid-morning or morning entries was here on a 2-bar confirmation crossover at 714. Taking a look at the exponential moving average on the 534. So here we are at 714. Taking a look at the 534, here we had a crossover at exactly the same time to the bottom of the open range, chopping up with the 1-hour open range, so making for a nice tick downside from 1151 to 1146. Nice drive down of about 50 ticks. Had some several other setups throughout the session. Here we are at about 2 hours post open. 1-bar, 2-bar confirmation at 850. Took a couple of extra bars to get us in, but it wasn't too much longer, about 10 minutes later. And we had nice Heikin-Ashi bars, as you can see. Nice solid bodies with tail up, and a nice trade all the way up to the daily gap. Today in in the trading room, taking a look at the chop here between the post-open, 30-minute open pivot, the daily gap and the pivot, hands off. Didn't need to be trading inside here. Once price action came down below the post 30-minute open pivot, offered a wonderful opportunity again at the end of the session as we had a 2-bar confirmation crossover. Here we could see the 2-bar confirmation once below the 30-minute pivot, right around 11:36 West Coast time, EMA crossover, and towards the session end, which ended up at the average move down. As you can see, you would have taken a little bit of chop here in the session, but again, 5 remained under 34 for the remainder of the trade until it moved all the way down. So again, Russell, the winner of the day. As far as the other 3 indices, Nasdaq, you had an opportunity. YM and EOS tough to trade today, and that concludes today's wrap. So feel free to stop by at tradingfibs.com, any of my social media outlets, to obtain more information. My trading mantra, know one thing, know it well, rings true for all markets. Whether you trade the ES or Apple, my plan will keep you disciplined. You can find me